This is the second part of solving equations with multiple steps, and in this video we're going to go over how you solve equations that involve brackets. Basically, it's the same work as we did in the last lesson, but you first have to use the distributive property to remove the brackets, which means you have to take the term on the outside and multiply it by each term on the inside of the brackets. And then again over here, multiply it by these, and again here, multiply that by these. So here we are, we'll start. First step is to use distributive law to remove the brackets. So 5 times x and 5 times 2. Don't forget to start with your equal sign. So 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 2 is 10. The bracket has ended, so you do not multiply the 5 with the negative 3x. The negative 3x will just be out there by itself. Then distributive law again, negative 2 times x and negative 2 times negative 1. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Bracket is ended, so this distributive property is done. Now you're going to multiply the 3 by these. So 3 times 4x is 12x, and 3 times 6 is 18. So first step is distributive law. Next step is to collect like terms on each side of the bracket. So on the left, just realized, sorry, that should be a 3x. On the left, 5x and negative 3x are like terms. So 5x minus 3x is 2x. And the constant 10 has no other constant to collect with, so it stays 10. On the right, the x terms are negative 2x plus 12x, and that becomes 10x. And for your constants, positive 2 plus 18 is positive 20. So that step is to collect like terms. The next step is to collect the x's on one side and the constants on the other. Typically, we collect the x's on the left, but you could collect the x's on the right. So if we wanted to collect the x's on the left, then that means we have to get rid of the x term that is on the right. So to get rid of 10x, the opposite is to subtract 10x. And then you have to subtract 10x on that side. So you're going to collect the x's on one side. And that means you have to collect the constants on the other. So if we're going to collect the constants on the right, you need to get rid of this constant, which is on the left. So the opposite of plus 10 would be to subtract 10. So you're going to subtract 10 from both sides. So collect constant terms on the other side. All right, so that means when we collect these terms now, 2x minus 10x gives you negative 8x. The positive 10 and the minus 10 cancel out. On the right side, the 10x minus 10x cancels out, and the 20 minus 10 is positive 10. And the last step is to divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which in this case is negative 8. So we are going to divide both sides by negative 8. A lot of people will forget about that negative. Make sure you divide by the negative. And in the end, you have to put your fraction into lowest terms because you can't divide 10 by 8 without getting decimals, and you cannot use decimals. So on this side, the negative 8 divided by negative 8 cancel each other out, and you're just left with x. And on the right, 10 over 8 in lowest terms is 5 over 4. And since it's negative, you need to remember to put the negative in the numerator. So remember, it's fractions only. Proper or improper. So no decimals and no mixed numbers. It has to be in lowest terms. And the negative should be in the numerator. So just like the last day's lesson, you just have to use the distributive law to remove the brackets first.